Okay, so we are putting a dishwasher panel, side panel in, and this is our version of it. Everybody's situation is going to be a little different. First of all, you're going to be working with power tools, so you don't want to drink a beer that's more than about 4.5%, like this Bud Lime. Then you need to look at your situation. Our cupboards went out to this length right here, and there was a drawer and a cupboard here, and because of where our plumbing's at and just the way that everything's laid out here, it made most sense to put it right here. We're not going to be getting around to putting the countertops on this week, so we tried to keep as much of the countertop as possible so that we can still live in here. Then I carefully took this apart by using a couple of the big, like 1-inch drill bits, like these here, to start some holes. And then I just started carefully cutting pieces out with my jigsaw, which is right here, until I had successfully cut everything I needed to out without making a disaster out of the rest of this structure. As you can see, that's kind of an important piece to have still intact. Then, lots of people just use brackets, but we decided to use a different method in hopes that we could be a little bit more square. So what we've done here is we've measured and cut boards that we plan to nail to, and we went and got ourselves a new dishwasher panel, and we had it cut at Home Depot, which is nice because I don't have the kinds of tools I need to be that clean and that precise. So we measured what we needed and had them cut it, and so we're going to put that panel in here and screw it together. So you'll see, I can kind of show you what it's going to look like. This is a finished grade piece of wood here. It is going to get painted, but basically all we need to do is nail it in those two places, and then this will go on the end to finish it out, and we will glue and brad nail that as well. This will be 24.5 inches. Your typical dishwasher is somewhere between 23 and 24 inches, so 24.5 inches should give us a tiny bit on either side to account for any crookedness. These cupboards were not made by us, and most cupboards are not actually perfectly square, so that will allow it to slide in and out easily without being too wide, so that you can see down the sides and see the ugly interior. So that's that. Once it's in place, we'll paint it, and it'll be ready for countertop as soon as I finish painting the rest of the kitchen.
And tell them how we affixed it to the floor.
Yeah, so basically we squared our space up as best we could, and then we cut our pieces. Then we pre-drilled through the wood so that we could use it as a guide, and then we took our concrete bit and put it in our hammer drill right here, and used the wood as a guide to drill down to the concrete part of the way. The reason for that is that our holes aren't perfectly straight up and down, and so if we use that as a guide, then we'll know that the hole's going the right direction for the rest of the way. Then we took it out, drilled all the way through into the concrete. Then we added some construction adhesive to the bottom of the piece of wood and screwed our Tapcon screws into place there, and this one basically is just flush with the back side there, and we used a level to make sure that that part was square, and it is pretty close to square. The piece of wood itself is a little bit crooked towards the top, but it's actually totally square down at the bottom, so we can either sand that off or live with it, and I think we're probably just going to live with it because I don't think anybody will ever notice. That's that.
And then enjoy your beer.